The Arabian Peninsula was ablaze. The death of the Prophet Muhammad had left a void. False prophets emerged from the shadows, seeking to claim his mantle. Among them was Musaylimah al-Kadhab, a cunning liar who had amassed a following among the Banu Hanifa tribe. He promised paradise and power, twisting the words of the Quran for his own wicked purposes. Musaylimah's rebellion threatened the very fabric of the nascent Muslim community. His lies spread like wildfire, threatening to consume the faith in its infancy. Action had to be taken. A decisive blow was needed to extinguish this threat to Islam. The responsibility fell upon Abu Bakr, the first caliph. He knew the gravity of the situation. He needed a leader who could unite the Muslim forces and crush this rebellion. His choice was a no-brainer: Khalid bin al-Walid, the sword of Allah. Khalid bin al-Walid was a brilliant military strategist. He was renowned for his tactical genius and unmatched courage. He had earned the moniker Sword of Allah for his decisive victories in previous battles. Abu Bakr entrusted him with a sacred task to lead the Muslim army against Musaylimah and his followers. Khalid's first move was to consolidate his forces. He rallied the Muslims, reminding them of their duty to defend their faith. His words ignited a fire in their hearts, a burning desire to vanquish the Musaylimah enemies of Islam. With his army assembled, Khalid began his march towards Yamama, the heartland of Musaylimah's power. He moved swiftly and decisively, outmaneuvering and dispersing any opposition he encountered along the way. His reputation preceded him, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies. News of Khalid's advance reached Musaylimah. He knew that a confrontation was inevitable. He gathered his followers, assuring them of his divine right to rule. He promised them victory, claiming that Allah would grant him power over the Muslims. Musaylimah chose his battleground carefully. He has selected a vast plain near the village of Aqraba, believing that his superior numbers would give him an advantage. His army, bolstered by the Banu Hanifa tribesmen, outnumbered the Muslims significantly. He arranged his troops in a formidable formation, their ranks bristling with spears and swords. At the center of his army, he positioned his most elite warriors, a human shield around his own position. He was confident. He believed that he had set a trap that Khalid's army could not escape. Section 4, the clash at Aqraba, a test of faith and fortitude. The two armies clashed on the plains of Aqraba. The Battle of Yamama had begun. The Muslim army, though smaller, fought with the fury of men defending their faith. They knew that they were fighting for a just cause, and their hearts were filled with unwavering belief. The battle raged for hours. The air was thick with the clash of steel, the cries of the wounded, and the roar of battle. The Muslims fought with unmatched bravery, inspired by their commanders and their faith. Amidst the chaos, Khalid bin al-Walid was a beacon of hope. He rallied his troops, urging them to fight for the glory of Allah. His presence on the battlefield was enough to invigorate the weary and embolden the timid. You see Section 5, Victory Forged in Blood, the legacy of the Battle of Yamama. The tide began to turn, inspired by Khalid's leadership and their own unwavering faith. The Muslims fought with renewed vigor. They pushed back against Musaylimah's forces, slowly but surely gaining the upper hand. The final assault was a sight to behold. The Muslim warriors, chanting verses from the Quran, stormed the last defenses of Musaylimah's army. The ground was littered with the bodies of the fallen. Musaylimah, the self-proclaimed prophet, met his end on the battlefield, his lies dying with him. The Battle of Yamama was a pivotal moment in Islamic history. It solidified the Muslim state and extinguished the flames of rebellion. Khaled bin al-Walid, the Sword of Allah, had once again proven his strategic brilliance and unwavering loyalty. The victory at Yamama paved the way for the extraordinary expansion of the Islamic Empire, carrying the message of Islam far beyond the Arabian Peninsula.